Let me also add my welcome to all of you to MOM and to the briefing of the exciting work that we are doing here. Well, as Minister has outlined, I will be focusing several areas, and let me first zoom in on the CET framework. I think the best way to appreciate the kind of challenges we have is really to understand that now that we are competing in a globalized world and also facing constant industry restructuring plus technology obsolescence, you'll find that a normal person will have to work, change jobs and so on more often than in the past. So maybe 5 or 6 times in his lifetime, maybe up to 10 times, maybe moving in the same industry, maybe crossing industries. So I think Singapore is very well known for investing in our education system, and we spend up to 3% of GDP investing in schools and universities and polytechnics and ITs and so on. But it's also very important to see how, when a person comes into the adult working life, from 2022 onwards, how is he or she going to keep his skills current, relevant, and employable to the industries that Singapore will receive. So therefore, the CET framework is built on this premise to continue to equip our workforce with relevant skills and enhance their employability. Of course, in our CET framework, we have several important components. One is, very important, the workforce skills qualification system. This is a way to classify the skills set in such a way that there is a progression path from the elementary to the advanced, and also making the skills quantifiable, qualifiable, so that comparisons can be made. This is of certain skill level for this industry, and if a person have this skill set, he can move within this industry, and as he specializes, he can go up further. He can handle more complicated jobs and so on. So WDA has spent much time in developing this WSQ framework. The other, of course, we pay quite a bit of attention on improving the trainers' quality. So there are actually there's an institute of adult training that focuses on training the trainers, so that they too are kept current and equipped with the latest teaching methodology. Of course, we also pay attention to the training providers. I think in the previous slide, the Minister has mentioned the CET centers. There are 3 national centers. So we're trying to differentiate training centers that are more comprehensive, that has got wider capabilities from the normal one, and then we try to move them, upgrade them along the way. On the supply side, of course, the E2I and WDA and several others have come together to try to piece together, the workers that requires jobs, and also the employers that are providing different kind of jobs. So you find that even now we're talking about 18 to 20,000 of job vacancies that are to be filled. And of course, for the CET system to work, we need to have a very strong outreach program. Therefore, the tripartite, partners are working very closely to communicate and emphasize on, how the CET system can actually help the employers as well as the employees. The productivity issue is a long-term challenge for Singapore. The ultimate goal for economic development is to help every single worker to raise his salary. And the way to raise productivity, there are only 2 ways. Either
on a per person basis, you create more valuable product, you create better products or services, or you create more of the same. So if you want to create better products, better value products, you must you must be trained with greater skill sets. You must be able to handle more sophisticated machinery. You must be able to take on jobs that are of the latest in the industry, that frontier industry. You want to do more, the companies must automate, must invest in the process efficiency improvement, and in the end, the workers will still have to be trained. So I think productivity is a long-term challenge for us. If we look at it from the manufacturing point of view, manufacturing industry tend to have higher productivity than our services sector. Of course, services sector is a wide range of industries. It accounts for a big part of our GDP, and we have started work, on several important sectors in the service industry, and this include the hotel sector, the F&B sector, the retail sector. So several months ago, the WDA, STB, Spring, and so on, we together launched a $100 million customer-centric initiative. And this is really to help the service industry, particularly the retail industry, both the employers as well as the employees, to improve their skill sets, to improve their organization efficiency, to invest in automation, to invest in technology, so that every single employee in this service sector can produce more, can produce higher value products. Next, let me speak a little bit on the PMETs, since PMET accounts for half of our workforce. And in this financial crisis, the dislocation of PMETs, from the job market is quite prominent. Under SPUR, we have what we call the Professional Skills Program that actually helps PMET to either upgrade themselves in the same industry or cross over to learn new skill sets in other industries. So in crossing over, for instance, we have the professional conversion programs, and under this program, so far we have actually 35 conversion programs available. We can either place them, in companies and train them, or train them first and then place them subsequently. Then there are also tertiary courses, in terms of diploma or advanced diploma or specialist diploma, conducted at the local polytechnics, to help our PMETs to upgrade. Quite importantly, there are also the soft skill leadership kind of program that's available for this group of people to improve their ability to take on the general management jobs. There's also a new initiative called the Professional Skills Program, traineeships. Under this program, the several agencies have come together to work with 60 companies and provide training places, especially for fresh graduates or recently retrenched PMETs, so that they can go on to these companies and work on the specific areas. Let me also speak a little bit on the talent attraction. I think for Singapore to continue to grow, we will have to have an open door policy for foreign talents. And the way we want to introduce foreign talents in the system is that we want to make sure that when foreign talents are introduced into a system, new jobs are created for the local, for the locals as well. So as we bring in new investments, you'll find that sometimes some of these new investments they will need certain kind of skill sets that is not yet in existence in our local employment market. And I think IR is an example, and many of the wafer fab companies is an example. The Intel, the multimedia industry is an example, and so on. There are many such examples. So I think how do we create an environment, such that foreign talents continue to find Singapore attractive it will be ongoing a challenge for us. We have done well so far, but there are also competition in other cities and countries, so we have to press on with our work to make sure that foreign talents feel that they are welcome. In the area of progressive HR, I think many of you would know that for many years now, some of the external agencies have rated Singapore's workforce as number one or the most competitive in the world. I think we would like to see the same kind of ranking for our supervisors or people in the leadership area. Now, how do we go about doing this? There are many best practices and many advice, many consultants, many specialists, expertise on HR practices coming out from the Western world. I think they are very good. We often talk to them. We want to hear their views. But they are developed based on Western models. I think going forward, there is a chance for Singapore to position ourselves as a thought leader in this area of leadership for the Asian environment. And given where we are situated between China and India, you find that there may be practices that are unique, to our operating environment in the Asian context. So we like to, as Minister said, we will be organizing the Singapore Human Capital Summit sometime this year. I think this is one of the many examples of many possible initiatives that we can do to build up expertise in terms of leadership development, in terms of human capital development in Singapore, with working with the universities, working with research agencies and employers. So I'll stop my remarks here and look forward to the Q&A afterwards. Thank you.
Thank you. SPS.